The most feared alien commander in the galaxy was sent to destroy Earth. Millions of people were about to die. Entire cities were already burning. But before the war was over, that same alien commander would sacrifice everything for a single human girl. Commander Zorak was not a hero. He was a nightmare. For more than 20 years, he had conquered planets for the alien empire. Wherever his fleet appeared, civilizations disappeared. Entire worlds surrendered at the sight of his flagship alone. His name was feared across the galaxy. One day, the alien emperor gave him his biggest mission yet. Earth must fall. A giant hologram of Earth appeared before Zorak. The humans are weak, the emperor continued. Destroy their defenses and prepare the planet for imperial control. Zorak bowed his head. As you command. Within days, thousands of alien warships emerged from hyperspace above Earth. The sky itself seemed to split open. Panic spread across the world. News channels stopped broadcasting. Governments declared global emergencies. Military forces launched missiles into space, but the alien shields absorbed everything. Humanity had never faced an enemy like this. From the bridge of his flagship, Zorak watched calmly as Earth's defenses collapsed one by one. To him, this was just another mission. Another world. Another victory. Then something unexpected happened. While inspecting a battlefield near New York City, Zorak's transport ship was suddenly struck by an experimental human weapon. The explosion ripped through the ship. Warning alarms echoed everywhere. The transport lost control and crashed into the city below. For the first time in years, Commander Zorak found himself alone. Injured and vulnerable. The wreckage burned around him as he struggled to stand. His armor was damaged. His communication systems were offline. Human soldiers were already searching the area. If they found him now, even the great Commander Zorak might die. As he moved through the ruined streets, his injuries became worse. Eventually he collapsed inside the remains of a destroyed building. Hours passed. Then he heard footsteps. A young woman cautiously entered the building. Her name was Emma. She froze the moment she saw him. Every news channel on Earth had shown his face. She knew exactly who he was. The monster responsible for the invasion. The enemy of humanity. For several seconds they stared at each other. Neither moved. Then distant voices echoed through the streets. Human soldiers were getting closer. Zorak slowly reached for a hidden blade. If necessary, he would fight. But instead of calling the soldiers, Emma did something completely unexpected. She hid him. The soldiers entered moments later and searched the area. When they asked if she had seen anything, she simply shook her head. After they left, silence filled the room. Zorak stared at her in disbelief. Why? He asked. Emma looked at him. Because you're injured. You know who I am. Yes. You know I've destroyed entire worlds. Yes. Then why save me? Emma remained silent for a moment. Then she answered. Because leaving someone to die isn't who I am. For the first time in years, Zorak didn't know what to say. No one had ever shown him kindness before. Not without expecting something in return. Not without fear. Emma helped him reach an abandoned underground shelter hidden beneath the city. For several days, she secretly cared for his injuries. At first, neither trusted the other. Their conversations were short and awkward. But as time passed, things slowly changed. Zorak began asking questions about humanity. Why did humans help strangers? Why did they protect each other? Why were they willing to sacrifice themselves for people they barely knew? Emma laughed when she heard some of his questions. You really don't understand humans, do you? No. Then maybe you're not as scary as everyone thinks. For the first time in his life, Zorak almost smiled. As days turned into weeks, something strange happened. The feared alien commander started enjoying her company. He found himself waiting for her to return whenever she left the shelter. He listened to her stories, her dreams, her hopes for the future. And slowly, without realizing it, he began seeing Earth differently. Not as a target, but as a home. One evening, Emma brought him to the surface. The invasion had temporarily slowed. For the first time, Zorak saw Earth without looking at it through military screens. The city lights stretched endlessly into the distance. The stars shined brightly above them. "It's beautiful," Emma said. Zorak looked around. For once, he wasn't studying defenses or attack routes. He was simply looking. And she was right. It was beautiful. That night changed everything. Because that was the moment Zorak realized something impossible. He had fallen in love with a human. Far above Earth, however, the alien emperor was growing suspicious. The invasion should have ended weeks ago. Instead, progress had nearly stopped. Reports showed unusual delays, missing fleets, strange military decisions. The emperor ordered an investigation. What his spies discovered shocked the entire empire. Commander Zorak was secretly protecting Earth. The emperor's rage shook the imperial palace. Immediately, he sent a direct transmission. The hologram appeared inside Zorak's hidden shelter. The emperor's cold eyes stared directly at him. "Commander Zorak." Zorak remained silent. "You have disappointed me." The emperor slowly stood from his throne. "You have 48 hours to destroy Earth." The room became silent. The emperor's voice grew darker. "If Earth survives, you will die with it." The transmission ended. Emma looked at Zorak. Neither spoke for several moments. Finally, she broke the silence. "What are you going to do?" Zorak looked toward the night sky. Above those stars waited the Empire. His empire. The only life he had ever known. But down here was Emma. The one person who had shown him what it meant to care about someone else. For the first time in his life, Commander Zorak faced a battle he couldn't win with weapons. He had to make a choice. A choice that would decide the fate of Earth. A choice that would start the greatest war the galaxy had ever seen. And deep inside his heart, he already knew what his answer would be. Commander Zorak stood silently beneath the stars. The Emperor's final order echoed inside his mind. Destroy Earth, or die with it. For 20 years, he had obeyed every command without question. He had conquered worlds, destroyed civilizations, led countless wars. But now, everything was different. Because of Emma. The next morning, the entire alien empire received an emergency transmission from Commander Zorak himself. Every fleet commander stopped what they were doing. Every soldier listened. The Emperor watched from his throne. Zorak looked directly into the camera. Then he said something nobody expected. "I refuse." The galaxy fell silent. "The people of Earth are under my protection." Shock spread everywhere. Even Emma couldn't believe what she was hearing. Zorak continued, "If the Empire wants this world, they will have to go through me." The transmission ended. Seconds later, the Emperor exploded with rage. "Treason." His voice echoed through the palace. "Prepare the planet killer fleet." Thousands of warships immediately changed course toward Earth. The largest military force in galactic history had begun moving. And at its center was the Emperor's flagship. A fortress capable of destroying entire planets. Meanwhile, Zorak knew what was coming. He secretly contacted every captain who still trusted him. Many refused. Some called him insane, but others remembered the lives he had saved during past wars. Slowly, a small rebel fleet formed around him. Compared to the Empire's forces, it was tiny. But it was enough. For the first time in his life, Zorak was fighting for something greater than victory. He was fighting for hope. A few days later, the skies above Earth turned dark. The planet killer fleet had arrived. Thousands of warships filled the horizon. People across the world watched in fear. Children cried. Families gathered together. Everyone knew the final battle had come. Then suddenly, a second fleet appeared. Zorak's fleet. The rebel ships jumped out of hyperspace directly between Earth and the Empire. A massive cheer erupted across human communication networks. Humanity finally had a defender. The battle began instantly. The darkness of space exploded with light. Gigantic laser beams crossed the stars. Warships shattered into burning debris. Entire fleets vanished in seconds. Earth watched as the largest battle in history unfolded above them. At the center of the fighting was Commander Zorak. His flagship charged directly into enemy formations. One ship after another exploded around him. But the Empire's numbers were overwhelming. For every enemy ship destroyed, 3 more took its place. Hours passed. The rebel fleet slowly began losing ground. Then disaster struck. The Emperor had discovered Zorak's weakness. Emma, Imperial soldiers secretly descended to Earth and kidnapped her. Before anyone could stop them, she was taken aboard the Emperor's flagship. Moments later, a transmission appeared across every screen in the galaxy. Emma was standing beside the Emperor. Her hands were restrained. The Emperor smiled. "Commander Zorak." His voice echoed coldly. "Surrender now, or watch her die." For a moment, nobody moved. The battle itself seemed to stop. Emma looked into the camera. She could see the pain in Zorak's eyes. The Emperor believed he had already won. But he had underestimated something. Love. Without saying a word, Zorak activated his engines. His flagship accelerated directly toward the Emperor's fortress. Thousands of enemy ships opened fire. Explosions surrounded him. Alarms screamed throughout the bridge. Yet Zorak never slowed down. He smashed through enemy formations, destroyed defense platforms, and finally crashed directly into the Emperor's flagship. The impact shook the entire fortress. Zorak immediately fought his way inside. Elite guards attacked from every direction. They failed. Combat robots blocked his path. They failed too. Nothing could stop him now. Because this was no longer about war. It was about Emma. After a brutal fight through the fortress, Zorak finally reached the throne chamber. The Emperor was waiting. Emma stood nearby, relieved to see him alive. The Emperor slowly smiled. "I created you, and now you betray me for a human." Zorak stepped forward. "I finally understand what strength really is." The Emperor laughed. "You have become weak." Then the battle began. The two most powerful beings in the galaxy collided. Energy weapons shattered walls. The floor cracked beneath them. Explosions echoed through the fortress. Neither side held back. The fight continued for what felt like forever. Finally, Zorak gained the upper hand. The Emperor fell to the ground, defeated. But before anyone could celebrate, a warning alarm suddenly echoed through the ship. "Danger! Danger! Core meltdown detected." Everyone froze. The Emperor began laughing. "Even while dying, you lose." Zorak looked toward the main display. His blood ran cold. The Emperor had activated the Doomsday Core, a weapon hidden inside the flagship. When it exploded, it would release enough energy to destroy Earth completely. Emma stared at the screen in horror. No, the countdown had already started. 1 minute remaining. Zorak quickly checked the system. Then he realized the terrible truth. There was only one way to stop it. Someone had to manually absorb the energy from inside the core chamber. Anyone who attempted it would die instantly. Emma understood immediately. "No." Tears filled her eyes. "Please don't." Zorak gently took her hand. For a moment, the war disappeared. The galaxy disappeared. Nothing existed except the two of them. "You gave me something I never had." Emma shook her head. "No, you showed me kindness. Zorak, you showed me love." Tears rolled down Emma's face. She couldn't stop them. The countdown continued. 30 seconds. 29. 28. Zorak smiled. The same smile Emma had fallen in love with. "I came to Earth as a conqueror." His voice was calm. "But because of you, I leave as a protector." Then he turned and walked toward the core chamber. Emma desperately tried to stop him. But she already knew. This was goodbye. The chamber door closed behind him. A blinding light filled the room. Energy surged through his armor, through his body, through every part of him. The pain was unimaginable, yet he never stepped back. Because every second he endured, Earth survived, humanity survived, Emma survived. Then came the final flash. The Doomsday Core shut down. The countdown stopped. Earth was safe. The war was over. The Empire had fallen. But so had Zorak. Minutes later, rescue teams entered the chamber. Emma ran inside. There he was, lying on the ground, barely alive. She dropped to her knees beside him. Tears streamed down her face. Zorak slowly opened his eyes. Weakly, painfully, but he smiled when he saw her. "For you," he whispered, "I would fight the entire galaxy again." Emma held his hand tightly, trying to keep him awake, trying to keep him alive. But it was too late. The light in his eyes slowly faded. And for the first time, the great Commander Zorak was gone. Years later, Earth became one of the most peaceful worlds in the galaxy. Humanity never forgot the alien who sacrificed everything to save them. A giant monument was built in his honor. Every year, millions came to visit it. And every year, Emma left a single flower beneath his statue. Because she knew something the rest of the galaxy never would. The greatest hero in human history was once the most feared monster in the universe. The end.
Thanks for watching. If you love epic sci-fi stories and unforgettable adventures, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to HYF Sci-Fi. Join our growing community, and we'll see you in the next journey beyond the stars.